What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope you had a good weekend. Just getting set up here, loading the a couple of the I'm dropping a link in a couple chats here. That's really it. Let's see. How's everyone's weekend? We've got a couple cool things we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about this whole pipeline debacle that's going on. I was just chatting with some of the guys in the PA server about it. I'm not sure if we've identified really a trade for it yet, but it's something that we're going to chat about. You know, it's important to know like what's impacting markets right now. What's the big thing? So let's quickly go over this, and then we'll get into it from there. Big oil pipeline ransomware attack. Cool. So it's closed a 5,500 miles, basically pipeline that carries gas and other fuels from the Gulf Coast to the New York metro area. They're saying basically like a 1 or 2 day outage is a minor inconvenience, but something big, right? If it was like 5 days, let's say, right, could be really bad. I would love to know what some of our group members think about this situation. Micah's asking, what's up, Atanis? What's up, Tyro? Micah's asking, we got to change the scenery today. Yeah, it was Mother's Day yesterday. And so I came back to my hometown, surprised my mom. And so, yeah, I'm back in my hometown right now. Might spend a day or two here. I don't know. Yeah, seeing the family, she was really surprised. It was really awesome. And now I'm here. Fowl, good to see you, man. What we got going here? Let's go, Rob. Good stuff. All right. So what do we got here? What's this picture that our buddy Robbie shared? It's a place called Markham, Ontario. It's just outside of Toronto. So where I live right now is in a place called Waterloo, which is maybe an hour and a half away from Toronto. Yeah, I just drove back. Let's see here. Yeah, this is just showing sort of its network with different companies. A couple of them are public. A lot of them are not. So for example, the main company in question here is not public, which may be why we're not seeing such a huge ripple effect. Now, something to think about with these ransomware attacks, right, is a lot of the times, I think if they've got you, they've got you, right? So you pretty much have to pay. I don't think they catch these guys very often. From what I know about, like, people hacking into small businesses, things like that, I know that they usually don't catch them. So the question is, how bad is it? Like, how much information do they have? What have they been able to shut down? And what are they really asking for? I don't know how much information we really have. Right? Looks like they really tried to keep it down. I'm not sure, guys. But let's have a look at the market in general, right? So if we pull up SPY, have we seen an uptick in vol in the last day or two? Let's see here. Come to the vols. Let's maybe zoom in on the last couple days. Not really. Vol's been pretty flat around 12. We're still at, very, very low levels of vol. What company should we look at here? Let's see. I'm just trying to freshen my brain here on what companies we could maybe be looking into. XOM, COP. Oxy. Let's have a quick scan, see if any of these names have had some significant change. All right, maybe a small uptick in vol here, but that could be completely unrelated. Oxy, I know this has been a popular one in recent times. Pretty high implied vol, to be honest. Realizing a good bit, though, too. All right, here we've seen like a almost 2-point uptick in vol. But does it have an earnings coming up or something? Let's see. Yeah, okay. So they have earnings as well today after the close. All right. Well, let's see what's going on with the earnings here. 5 points implied. Had a couple of big movers in the past, eh? No edge on the direction here. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything major happening with this with the whole oil thing here, right? It looks like there's nothing too major to talk about. Just so you guys know, for the rest of the week, especially since majority of the people who come to this live are PA members, a big thing that you want to think about is earnings, right? We're still in the heat of earnings week here. A lot of cool ideas have been coming out of it. A lot of directional bets people are making, vol bets, of course. And we're going to probably be spending the most of our week still focused on that. But I'd love to know what else is on your radar, right? So obviously this oil thing, if there was a spike in vol, I would actually probably be suggesting to sell it, because from my understanding of how these attacks work, the only reason why it would get really bad is if the company tried to get fancy with it, right? I think a lot of the times, there's risk, but it hurts the company, but then the damage is done, and then they move on. If anyone else is on here that has a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. Tyro's asking, how does BABA look? Tyro, what's the idea here for BABA? I guess they've got earnings coming up. May 13th, so in a couple days here on the whatchamacallit, Thursday before market. So a trade that we can take on Wednesday if things look good. Let's maybe take a look here, right? Okay, so this is one of the stocks where I think it looks great to sell vol. Unfortunately, well, the implied move is down a little bit. So Tyro, here's what I would do. I would take a look at some of the data here. Questions I'd be asking myself, right? So implied move versus average move. Okay, that's usually, so actually the first one that we like to consider is what's the level of the implied move. So looking at the level of implied move here at 4.37 with an average move at 4.86, it's come down quite a bit. Market's implying a lot smaller of a move than it usually does on average. If we look at what last quarter, for example, it was implying a 5% move. Now, something that I like to see, though, is there's only been, a few times where it's really, blown past that. And even when it does, the biggest move that we see is about a 6.5% move. So, even when you're wrong here, it's not like you get absolutely destroyed. It's not like, this thing has a habit of moving 20, 30%. So off the bat, I'm liking the look of this. The next thing I look at is the implied move versus the average move. And I'm seeing the average move at about 2.8%. So there's a good bit of edge here. There's a good bit of edge I'm seeing right off the bat. In terms of direction, I'm not really seeing enough to say that I have a directional bias here. we see that the most frequent move is about like a 1.5% down move, something in that range. And we do have that short-term put skew here. So what this means is, you have to remember this, like the markets are like, there's like a supply and demand factor to them, right? And what we're seeing here is there's lots of demand on the put side and on the call side, actually. You could structure it to both sides here. So we could actually maybe, sell maybe like a Delta 40 or something like that, strangle, if we wanted a short vol here. Alex, what's going on, man? Good to see you coming to the lives. For those of you that don't know Alex German in the chat there, he's actually the chief marketing officer of Predicting Alpha. So, our beautiful website, color schemes, everything of that nature, a bunch of the stuff you're going to see coming out in the future is going to be this marketing Picasso's work. So what's going on, Alex? We'll give him an official rank in the Discord one day, but we'll get there. We're easing them in. So a couple things to think about with Baba here, right? We have put skew. We actually have a smile in the skew, right? So what I mean by that, guys, was I not sharing the screen? Nobody's going to tell me that? Or was I sharing it? I don't know. We're going to have a problem here, guys. If I wasn't sharing that screen, we're going to have a problem. All right, well, I guess you guys just love the sound of my voice or something, because clearly you didn't care what was on the screen. You just like to look at me. Oh man, I swear to God, one day, guys, I'm actually going to be good at doing this live streaming. It's only been a year and a half. You can't expect me to be amazing at this yet. It's only been the last year and a half of my life every day, but it's I don't really watch a ton of other streams. I'd love to know, guys, do other people make mistakes streaming a lot too, or is that just me? Like when Ricky G's running his stream, does he make mistakes? I don't know. Okay, that makes me feel a little better, man, because it's kind of fun though, like I feel like as long as you're lighthearted about it, and smile through the pain, then it's okay. Ricky G, he's a YouTuber that we like. We poke some fun at. He's in the stock space. He's probably one of the most successful trading related YouTubers of all time. Really cool dude. Don't really agree with his methodology or way he looks at things at all, but there's no denying he crushed the game. So let's see here. I was just talking about Baba. So the big thing that I wanted to point out was this here, right? So if you look at the skew, it's got this like smiley shape to it. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the skew, it's definitely a concept you want to learn more about. You come in here to the education section, go to silver. In option fundamentals, there is right here, you have understanding skew parts 1 to 4. You're definitely going to watch those. And then if you go to the education vault, we have a ton more on skew. Just type in the word skew into all files and all the videos on it will come up. Now, I'm going to talk, assuming that we have some idea about skew here. So if you don't, please go watch those. We have a smile in the skew, which means the market is pricing in risk to the upside and the downside. Now, normally when we look at these large cap stocks, we actually see it price in, usually pricing in just downside risk, right? Think about how stocks move. They move up like an escalator, down like an elevator, right? That's why if you look at the S&P, right, we come over here, type in SPY, you can see we have that put skew, right? Only skews to the put side. But we come back to BABA. We see a very different shape here. Shaped like a smile. All right. So what can we do about this? Well, there's a couple things. Number one, we could buy this cheap Delta 50 here and sell these expensive ones out here, right? So for example, let's say we want to take a bullish bet here, which maybe isn't a bad idea. You would maybe structure a 1-3-2 fly into this, or a vertical, something like that. Or if you get more premium, you could do like a bull put spread on this side. The other thing we can do now is, it's worth, unfortunately, I can't, I'm on a MacBook Air, so I can't load Thinkorswim at the same time as running the stream. But what I would do is I would go into Thinkorswim and I would price out a at the money straddle for short vol. But I would also price out, let's say, like a Delta 45 or Delta 40 strangle. And the reason you might want to do that is, well, if we sell the at the money, we're selling this point here. Okay? But if we sell the out of the monies, we're selling these points here. And these are trading at a higher implied vol than the at the money. So by selling these, if it comes down, you know, it has more room to move, right? We're going to see a bigger drop in vol. And that may be, you know, you want to price out how that would impact the position. If it's enough of a difference, it might make more sense to sell the strangle versus the straddle in terms of what your payoff is. Right, so that's something that I would look into for BABA for sure. Right, now when we look at the distribution of moves here, I'm not seeing a ton of skew. I'm seeing a slight skew to the downside in terms of the frequency of moves. But what would be interesting to look at as well is the skew over time. So maybe, you know what I'm going to do first, actually. I am going to minimize this. Let's have a look at what the previous earnings dates were, a couple of them. So let's say Feb 2nd, November 5th, August 20th. Feb 2nd, November 5th, August 20th. Let's see what the skew is at. Merge. Okay, so it was right here at 0.14. November 5th, was it? Something like that. I can't remember. And August 20. So we're seeing a good bit of skew. Right, decent bit of skew here. You see that pop here. So that's something we can maybe take advantage of, right? Does anyone have an opinion on why we might be seeing this upside risk being priced into BABA? What are we thinking here, guys? Let's have a quick read here. Yeah, Ricky's had a couple cringy interviews. I've seen that too, Foul. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why it's pricing in this upside risk. There doesn't seem to be anything that I'm seeing. It's been beaten down a lot in the last few weeks. What's the retail sentiment here? My computer is going to explode if I try and look it up myself. Can someone check StockTwits, see what that retail sentiment's looking like right now? I'd be interested to see what the retail sentiment is like. And who's maybe a comparable company for Baba? Like, Yeah, thank you, Micah. Please check. Okay, so realized vol here. Let's do this. IV30, RV30. Let's go for Baba. IV30, RV30. And let's look at Amazon. I would say these are probably fair comparisons, right? Baba and Amazon. Right? These are probably pretty fair. Yeah, what's the level of the sentiment though, Micah? And what's the level of message volume, right? So if you actually go to the website, go to message volume and look at the chart, where are we at for that? Okay, pretty bullish. That's usual for it though. It's usually quite bullish. Nice. Tyro, if you're looking to learn more about how to use StockTwits effectively, if you come into the education, go to bronze and look at the research component. I believe it's in, let's see, strategy, right? So you go to strategy, intro to research, who's on the other side, how to use StockTwits to find an edge. You'll find this very, very insightful. It's a good video. So yeah, I'm thinking it's definitely a good opportunity to sell vol here around Baba. Maybe take advantage of the skew, see what you can do with it. And besides that, it might be worth structuring a bet here. Now, because we're seeing that call skew on this event, I'm tempted to sell into it or trade into that skew, even though we're seeing the majority of the time here, the realized move is actually a small down move. Perfect. Yeah, so that's everyone talking about this event. It would definitely be worth making sure we're not missing anything here when it comes to Baba, but I'm pretty confident about selling vol here. And, you know, I would be very interested to see what sort of trades we can get on betting on the skew, you know, like a 1-3-2 fly, something like that. Jordan rolling out of bed at 10:45. Nice. Good to see. Good to see he's on the ball here. Micah, I don't know if I love that idea. Selling vol to finance a PA fly. You know, if you know what you could do is you could go into Thinkorswim, and because it's on the same stock, you could plot both of those, see what it looks like, see what your exposures are, maybe try and structure it out. But I don't know if I would like that idea. Right? You'd have to look at what your total exposure is. Are you short Vega? Right? Are you long Theta? And then are you long Delta as well? Because, well, you know, let's say you're bullish. Well, wouldn't it make more sense to just sell like a straddle slightly out of the money to the upside? I feel like that would make more sense, you know? So it's really all about like what your view is, you know? Dan the man, what's going on? How was your weekend? Hope you didn't get too much shit for staying up all night on that, playing that poker game with the boys. Yeah, so today we just went over like one trade idea really. We went over Baba. So Baba is looking like a good short vol play, an okay 132 fly. Tyro, if you want to post a photo of the 132 fly you're looking at for Baba in the group, let's take a look at it. Sorry, I can't open up Thinkorswim on this. Like, I don't know if you could see, even when I had a couple more tabs open on my computer, it was exploding, man. It wasn't going to make it. Micah, we're gonna try and do one like every month, maybe every month and a half. Uh, you know, it was a lot of fun. I need some time to go brush up all my skills though. Tyro, you got to come out to the next one, man. We had an awesome turnout. It was a really good time. Um, yeah, guys, look. So that's the trade for today. That I think this is a great one to take. Baba looks good. I'm definitely going to bug the earnings boys in the chat, see what they think about it too. But besides that, guys, we should. I'm going to compile a list of earnings for this week. I apologize about the ER date still being, a little unreliable here. We're working on it. Like, we have a couple data sources that we're looking at for it that look pretty reliable, but just because it's one that we haven't worked with before, we're really figuring out how to get that set up. But yeah, guys, I'm really excited for this week. By the end of this week, we should have a couple pretty cool updates for you on some changes and advancements at PA. I actually have one idea I want to run by you. I was going to save it for tonight's live, but you guys are the core group here for me. So I would love your opinion on this. I want to add a new channel to the server here, like right in here. And I haven't come up with a name for it yet, but basically it would be like a live resources chat. So basically, think of it as like a PA newsletter almost, where as I'm going through my day, if I find an article or a snippet of text or a piece of news that I think is interesting and worthwhile, I would post it in there, and it would be a read-only channel. So let's say me and Jordan can post in there. Jordan's reading a book on game theory and he sees a little paragraph that he likes. He might just take a snippet of it, throw it into that chat, and it's something we can discuss about. And it's a little chat you can look at to always get like little bits of good information related to trading theory, relevant event stuff. And then what I'm also thinking is we could create a role in the server called, let's call it PA contributors, right? A PA contributor. So let's say Micah spends so much time doing research, right? Maybe Micah could apply to be a contributor at PA, which would give him typing privileges in that chat. And as he's going through his stuff, right, he finds something kind of cool, he could share it in there as well, right? And then we could have like a, sort of like a team of people who are, the real requirement for being is just, spending a lot of time learning this game and reading and doing research and whatever you do normally. But we have a few people who type into the chat into that group, and it allows everyone else to get like sort of a filtered view on what everyone's learning. What do you guys think about that idea? Would you like something like that, or does it seem kind of redundant? What you think? What you guys think about that? Exactly, Micah. Basically like a news feed, Let's see. Any changes on the backspread here? No, we still got ARC at the top of the list. So, Micah, we could do that, but the thing that I'm thinking is it's not just about like how smart someone is. It's actually about like how much time they're putting into the game and how much they're willing to share with the community, right? It would be like it's a little different than just having knowledge. You know what I mean? It has to be like you're actively learning this stuff and you're willing to you know, take the extra time to make that post. Right. And then for doing that, I feel like you should get the recognition in the group. Like we'd probably push the PA contributor rank to like the top of the list. So it'd be like admins, you know, if we ever had mods, and then it would be like contributors. Tyro's saying it sounds pretty cool. I do something similar in my own channel. I post quotes to keep track of interesting ideas personally. Yeah, exactly. Right. I think that's something totally worth doing. So we'll probably experiment with that this week. If any of you guys want to apply for that kind of a role, just shoot me a DM. Mike, I'm expecting a DM from you, man. I know you do a ton of research. I'd love for you to be sharing that with the guys. Doesn't need to be alpha. It just needs to be the information that leads to potentially one day finding alpha. All right, guys. So with that being said, let's wrap up this morning's stream. Not a ton of stuff today. I'm sure there's a ton of earnings to look at, which we can chat about in the group. We're still in the heat of earnings season. Last night, I believe Red shared a list of some pretty big events coming up. Starting tomorrow, we'll probably focus on earnings a lot more again, unless some big news comes up, or you guys have a trade that you want to take a look at. Micah, I know you mentioned ARCW. I didn't take a look at it this morning, but let's take a little peek here. Near-dated vols are through the roof. Tons of put skew, right? Not all-time highs, but recent, highest. Actually, no, it's not very high at all. Big move today. Big move. Jesus. Yeah, the IV is high, but the realized vol on this thing is through the roof. Next gen internet ETF. Yeah. I feel like some of these ARC ETFs, just they should have high vol. It's implying 45 right now, but it's realizing like 60. Yeah, Tyro, I took a quick glance. I was going to shoot you a message after the live, but I think you should play around with the strikes a little bit more, see if you can get anything a little juicier. But it looks okay. Looks okay. What I'm kind of thinking here is actually you might have this structured a little strange. What's BABA trading at right now? $220. So yeah, your 132 fly here, it's nowhere near as bullish as I would have put it together. So for example, if you look at this picture here, let's see if I can open the original, make it bigger. Right, so if we take a look at this, you have your at the money, this is at the money right now. This is where the stock's trading. What I would usually do is I would be buying one here, going one straddle price out, selling 3 here, right? So this is one straddle price, and then going another 0.5 straddle price out, and that's where I would be buying my 2 hedge, right? Which would leave me with a structure that maybe looks a little bit different, like this. And hopefully by doing that, it actually looks maybe more like this, where we get a way better risk reward on the position. Because if you think about it, like, what are you selling right now? You're basically selling at the money. So you're not really getting that leverage that you need. You want to be selling those out of the monies, right? Wait, what's the stock trading at again? Yeah, so you see what I'm saying there? I think you could do a little bit better on the strikes there. And if you want to learn more about those, Tyro, like I'm going to keep referencing it just because I know there's a ton of education there. Like I don't mean this to be offensive in any way. Download this workbook, right? And when you download the workbook, there's going to be a file in there called PA Strategy Guide. Click the link for PA call flies, and it'll take you to a few videos that'll actually break it down for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense as well, Tyro. Like if you don't want that much of a directional bias, then you definitely don't want to do the PA fly. But think about this. The reason we would be doing the directional bias is because it would give us, because we can get a lot of leverage on it. If we're not getting the leverage that we want, we're not going to take it. Because think about it. The only reason we're getting that upside leverage right now is the market's pricing in risk to the upside. And we can take advantage of that, saying it's not that much risk to the upside. It might trend up, but I don't think it's going to explode up. Right. So that's what we're really taking advantage of. And then using that to structure a directional bet where maybe we only have to be right 10% of the time to make money. And so it's in the workbook folder, but it's called the PA Strategy Guide, just to be clear on that, Tyro. So guys, we're going to wrap up the stream there. This was super fun. We'll go back to just my face for a second. Hey, everyone. I don't know if we have any new people on here, but if we do and you want to learn more about Predicting Alpha, just go to predictingalpha.com. You can sign up for a free trial there. It's the bomb. I don't know what else to say. Guys, also, I want to make sure that the community keeps getting better, keeps getting stronger. If you guys have any feedback about the community, the way the Discord is set up, anything like that, feel free to shoot me a message. Remember, this is our community, guys. I want it to be as effective as possible. I feel like we've got the water cooler banter down. We have all the laughs that we want to have. We've got the traders chat where we do our regular chatting. If there's any bots that you'd like to see, any rooms for separate discussion, anything of that nature, feel free to let me know, and we can look to build it in. All right, guys, we'll see you on tomorrow's live, and we'll actually see you tonight for our 8 p.m. recap, and we'll see how the rest of the week's lives go. I'm going to check that poll that we did last week. If you haven't filled that out, I'll post it in the group one more time, and we'll chat about that. Could we have a channel where members post what they have found from the education section? What has helped them the most and why? So I like that idea a lot, actually. I like that idea. Fal, if you can help me think about that one, how we can actually make that effective, because, the big thing about this type of a community is, while that would be great for new members, I don't see the added benefit for current members, right? Or for more advanced members who've gone through all that education. So how could we create it or position it in a way where there's benefit for everyone, right? So not just for the person who would get to see that resource, but for the person posting it as well, right? This is why I think like the PA contributor thing might be a good idea, because you get recognition for it. You're higher up on the list, you get maybe a really cool rank color, and maybe there's like a separate chat room as well, right? So that's why I kind of like that, and maybe this could be a part of it. I'm thinking maybe there's something to do with the Reddit as well. Yeah, Fowl, like that's definitely worth thinking about. I just want to make sure that if anything that we do create, I want it to be used. You know what I mean? So like if the channel is going to go dead, it wouldn't work. But something worth having a flick through for yourself is the bronze and silver questions chats. A lot of the times, like when people have questions about the education material, that is where they go. So definitely take a look there. I was saying, so it's a rehash of the existing materials because we're not reinventing the wheel, but showing the flexibility of people's approaches. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be really, maybe maybe what we could do is something like we could combine the silver and bronze education and everything into one big, education chat, where whenever you're going through a video, if you have questions about any of the videos or anything you found interesting, stuff like that, that is where you could share it and ask questions. What do you think about that? Tyro, we have a crypto chat. It's called the Water Cooler Banter, man. I'm also thinking about adding some bots to the server where we could, let's say, you could pick a rank, right? So like in the tools and resources, there'll be like a couple different buttons. You pick one of the ranks, and it unlocks something for you, like maybe like a news feed channel or like an earnings chat that posts like, let's say, earnings for the day, stuff like that. Yeah, Tyro, if you want to chat crypto, you got to chat with our buddy Alex there. His handle in our Discord is Squawks. He's made an absolute killing in crypto over the last year, so you guys should definitely connect. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap up the morning stream there. I'm gonna go get some food, and PA guys, we'll see you in the chat. Let's crush it today. Big earnings day. Let's make some money.